What's up, everybody? JP here. How you guys doing? So, let's get into it. The Biodomes and how I went through this mission / training that I went to with two other guys. We went into this training. Actually, I talk about this in episode 34. Update 34 with Dr. Michael Salla. And this is on book 3, this experience. So I'm going to get more into the details of what happened that day and why I think it happened in that particular time frame. I was with two other soldiers. We got a text message. They gave us a coordinate inside the base, so we went into the coordinate. We went into the base, and it was a building. Yes, this building was near some other buildings that I go into for certain missions or certain experience that I went through. So it's in a general location. So they have all these different types of buildings that they're working on, different types of projects, okay, inside the base. So we go. We're in civilian attire. We're not dressed in OCPs or any kind of military uniform. We're dressed as civilians. They told us to go like that, so we went like that, for people not to notice who we are. And like I said before, I always had, sometimes I was shaved or sometimes I had a beard because I had Bell's palsy, and people know about that. Bell's palsy is when half of your face, goes dead. So, yes, I said it here maybe for the first time. Half of my face, I went through Bell's palsy, so when I shave, I used to cut myself a lot. So they gave me a shaving profile. So, we walked, and they gave us this coordination. One of the guys, he was wearing a mask, and he said, "Oh, it's this building." So we start walking towards this building, and we go into this building, and we see it inside, and we go into this building, and we see inside, really organized. It was like a corridor type of, we walk straight, we go through the security, and they take us to this room, right? And they call us one by one, and they ask us questions. And we go, and we start walking towards this doctor. And when we walk towards this doctor, he has like a white wand. I'm like, what the heck is Harry Potter heck is happening here? So he has this wand, and while we're walking, he's doing like this to our body. And then in the tip of this wand, there's like a greenish, bluish light that comes out. And, it made us feel kind of funny. My body was feeling kind of weird when he was doing the wand thing. So I was like, what the heck is going on? So they take us to a separate room, and this nurse comes out, and she gives us a pill. This pill was like this big. It was white in color. It looked like one of those big Tylenols that they give you, but it's white. It looked like a regular pill. I remember looking at it, and it had the number 877. Okay, I don't know why, but I saw that number there, 877. So they give it to us, and we drink it because they told us to. I know some people might argue saying, "Oh, why you're taking things?" Once you sign up for the military and you're told what to do, you do it. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, if, no, nothing. If you signed up for the military, you are told what to do, you do it. Okay? Yeah. So we drank the pill. We started waiting, and they bring us into this white room. And we look at each other, and we all change clothes prior of getting into this white room. Like we change into this tactical type of black uniform. Okay? And we're wearing a mask and we're suited up. So they take us into this white room. The white room is the size of a one-car garage, and the edges of the corner is curved out, similar to how a green room looks like. It's not squared out, you know. It's not squared out. It's curved. So really white room. It looks like the light was coming out from the walls. They closed the door. And I was nervous. I was talking to the other soldier, what's happening? And he seems normal. He seems like he's been through this experience before. He says, just be quiet and just let it happen. And I asked myself in my mind, why am I going through these experiences? Like always, why am I, and it always clicked that, yes, after all these experiences, I got the green light to talk about them. So that's one of the reasons I go through these experiences, to then tell people my experiences by getting the green light. There's still certain things that happen in the experience that I can't talk about, but the things that I get the green light to talk about, I talk about. So all these missions that I talk with Dr. Michael Salla, there's still things in between that I can't talk about. But I can give you the full story, but in between those experiences and in between those missions, there's things that happen that because of the security is classified still. I want people to realize that. So all these missions, there's still things that I can still talk about once I can be able to talk about all these missions. So we enter into this white room, like I said, and this white room, they close the door, and the door does, it closes up, and it matches the whole room like if the door was not there. I'm like, what the heck is this? Then we started feeling good. I think the pill that they gave us made us feel like if I had 2 bottles of sake or 2 shots of vodka, like that buzz. They give you that buzz, but you still was straightforward. You still was conscious. You knew what was happening around, and you understood what were you going through. So the whole room starts shaking, and we feel it from our feet down to our legs. Like our whole body starts vibrating, and everybody you can see the cheeks of everybody shaking, and the room is shaking, and the white room starts like phasing in and phasing out, and it starts shaking, and we all felt like nauseous when this was happening. And I thought, okay, it's the pill that they give us, but this is weird that this room is doing this. So the whole room started shaking. It was happening for a couple minutes, and it shook. You know when you're on a roller coaster and you feel that the butterflies when you're doing flips? That's what my body was feeling. I was feeling those butterflies all over the room. And I was walking up and down, and I was sitting down, and I was nervous. Everybody, me and this other guy was nervous, but the other guy, he was calm because it looks like he's been through these types of experience before. And I guess they were experimenting of how we were gonna go through these experiences. But I have been through this experience before in 2015 when I was not in the military, and I told this experience to Dr. Michael Salla when I traveled with some guy. He looked Indian. He used to travel on an egg-shaped ship, and this Oriental guy that his name was Shan, and the Indian guy, his name was Lovent. So they took us to this biodome and it looked so beautiful, but I'm sure there's so many of them. So back to this room, us three, the room stops shaking. The room stops shaking and we're still. And you know when a bomb goes off, your ears, you hear like a high pitch sound. After the high pitched sound, everything was calm. The room was still. And we look at each other and we're like, we're nodding our heads. We're like, what's going on? Like, the room stopped. Oh, yeah. So the door does, and it opens up. And the first thing that you see is like a bright light. And the smell, like if it was a rainforest. Beautiful smell. Like flowers, rainforest. Like if you were in the rainforest. It reminded me when I walked in the smallest rainforest in the world in Puerto Rico called El Yunque. Okay? Where the military buildup is right now. And I'm sure we probably have domes under the mountain of the Yunque. But that's what the smell that it gave me. We start walking out and we start looking at all the things and our jaws just dropped. We're like, where the heck are we at? And we looked at the distance, and through the rings of the dome, you can see clouds. And this place was massive. We were like in awe. We were like, wow, what the heck is this place? We walked out. We saw plants that we never saw before, different species of plants, different species of bugs that we never seen before. I saw something that looked like a freaking dragonfly and a spider mixed. Like, it was so weird. It flew like a dragonfly, but it looked like a spider. Scary things, you know? But it was so cool that we were seeing these. Remember, there's no fossilized records on these ancient types of insects. We could have insects that look so weird when the dinosaurs were alive or back in ancient times because they don't have history in fossilized insects as much as they have history on mammals or reptiles, you know? So I'm sure we had different types of insects, and these insects was massive insects. We looked at the trees. They were magnificent. They were, you know, it looked like a rainforest. The dome was doing like a sound like a whoo, 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 whoo. It's beautiful. We looked outside, and it looked like the glass was like 6 feet thick. Like when you looked at it in the angle, you could see like if it was like 6 feet thick, this glass. Whatever kind of glass it is, or a metal alloy that you could see through, it was protecting this dome. So it was a big ass greenhouse protecting these insects and these extinct plants that we had in there. Also in this update, I talk about this tree that we saw, right? And it was a beautiful tree, and it had purple fruit like apple. It looked like an apple, but it was purple. So I grabbed it and I asked the guy, hey, can I try this fruit? So I grabbed this fruit, right? And I look at it and I bite it. And when I bite it, it tastes like pineapple, a mixture of lemon and guava taste. So good. But the guava, it burst in your mouth like with juice. That taste of guava. And I asked the guy, wow, this fruit is a freaking amazing. What is this? And he says, we eat here every time. I said, and I asked him before, I said, hey, is it okay to eat this fruits? Like, is this good for you? He's like, yeah, we eat here all the time, especially that fruit. It has all the vitamins and all the nutritions that a human need. So I'm like, what the heck? This is so good. And the reason also that I tell you that there's going to be a lot of drip drops with movies, like for example, this movie right here that is now in theaters and soon to be released, this movie right here, Predator Badlands, right? Listen to this. So, a year ago in the update, 34, I can post it right here, right? A year ago, and this is in the movies right now, okay? A year ago, in this update, I talked about, I released this, my experiment was May 30th, and we released it at June 6th, okay? Update 34. That was last year. And then this movie comes out, and it talks about a plant that I experienced over there. This plant, let me remind you that one of the guys was a botanist, okay? He was an expert for the military. But you can call him a botanist, but he deals with animals too. But some of these plants were like moving animals. There was a plant, right, that is similar to that movie. If you guys, I don't want to destroy the movie to everybody, so this is a, what do you call that? Alert? A movie alert. Just in case, if you're going to watch The Predator, don't listen to this. Turn it off right now. If you haven't seen The Predator, the movie Badlands, don't hear this because I'm going to give some information. So, but if you want to keep listening to this, keep listening to this. Okay, awesome. All right. So there's a plant that I experienced a year ago in that update that I did with Dr. Salla that they have in this movie. And I'm like, oh crap. Oh my God. Are they reading the books? Are they reading book 3 of, they've read book 3 and now they're throwing down the film. So there's a plant that is moving and their branches, the way it kills little rodents or little mammals, it wraps around their victim, and the plant has this poison, or similar to what poison ivy or poison oak has. It's like an oil that it has that it sleeps the rodent or sleeps whatever it wraps. It can't even wrap a human if a human is there for a long time, and it wraps around anything, and it sleeps. It gives like a poison that sleeps anything that it wraps, and it does like a Venus flytrap. It gives it acidic, like when it wraps it so good, it keeps growing around it. It wraps it so good, but it's fast. It's a fast moving plant, so you do really have to be careful when you go to these places. And when I saw that Predator Badlands, I was like, oh crap, they're bringing it out in movies. But I said it a year ago, so all right. So this is amazing. So, and let me remind you, in the beginning of this video, I told you why we were going through these certain missions when we were wearing masks. I am sure throughout the years that we were wearing the mask, the Nordics were walking among us more than what we see right now. So we needed that period. I know there's a mixture of what happened there, and I don't want to talk about it, but I'm sure that the Nordics were walking among us when we were wearing the mask. And there was a lot of deals being made around the world with different governments. And most of these missions that I went through and other soldiers went through, we were wearing masks. And we were going through these beautiful experience. Some people might call it beautiful. Some people might call it scary. But I saw it as a gift. I saw it as a gift for me to share it with you guys. And getting the green light, you know, to share my experience with everybody here that's listening. Okay? So I want to make that clear, okay, that during that period, there's a lot more Nordics among us. And probably I do a next update more in details on how the Nordics came in and they turned into us. They assimilate everything, how they look like, to become like us, to walk among us. And I'm sure they go through all these events that we talk. I'm sure they're involved in government. They're involved with the school system. They're involved in the military. They're involved even a police officer can stop you, and they're probably a Nordic that was hired, that had fake documents, and they're working as a state trooper or whatever you want to call them. But they are among us. So this experience really changed me. It moved me a lot. We saw a lot of different plants. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Much love to all. You know, you guys are always in my heart. And I'll do a part 2 on this video of how we came back. And then the next video after that will be this video, part 2, the next video of how we came back. And then the next video that we do is going to be about the Nordics, how they live among us. Okay, much love to you. AKURIA, Mate, JP out. Much love to all.
Carries within him the glow of 1,000 suns. Boots on the ground, but his heart flies away to the stars where silence hung.